No one understood the moment everything changed. At first, it was just a faint signal on deep space scanners, something small and easily dismissed as background noise. Then it grew. Within minutes, every major observatory on Earth locked onto the same object, a ship. It did not approach like an invader. It did not burn through the atmosphere or unleash weapons. Instead, it slowed down with impossible precision and stopped. Right above Earth. Global defense systems activated instantly, satellites repositioned, weapons systems calibrated, and communication arrays began transmitting every known signal pattern. There was no response. The ship remained still. Daniel stood inside the central command facility, eyes fixed on the massive display. Data streamed across the screens in endless waves, but none of it made sense. "It is not moving," one analyst said. "It is waiting," another replied, but Daniel felt something deeper. This was not hesitation. This was intention. The ship had not stopped randomly. It had chosen that exact position. Hours passed. Then an entire day. No attack came. Panic slowly turned into confusion. News channels speculated endlessly. Some called it first contact. Others believed it was the calm before destruction. But the silence continued. Then the anomalies began. Power grids flickered across continents. Aircraft reported strange interference. Communication networks glitched without explanation. And then came the reports that unsettled everyone the most. People were hearing things. Not sounds exactly. More like thoughts that did not belong to them. Brief flashes of something ancient and vast. Daniel requested deeper scans. When the orbital mapping data finally aligned, his expression changed. "Zoom in here," he said quietly. The projection shifted. A pattern emerged across the surface of the planet. Several locations began emitting faint but measurable energy pulses. They formed a network, and the ship above Earth was positioned directly over its center. "This is not random," Daniel whispered. One of the officers looked at him. "Then what is it?" Daniel hesitated for a moment before answering. "It is a containment position." The room fell silent. Before anyone could respond, the ship changed. Sections of its surface opened, revealing structures that began to glow with a soft but powerful light. It was not aggressive. It was controlled, focused. Then it happened. Every person in the room froze at the same time. A presence filled their minds. Not a voice, not a language, but something that translated itself into understanding. "We are here." Daniel clenched his fists. "Who are you?" he thought. There was a pause. Then the answer came, heavier than anything he had ever felt. "We are the Watchers." The lights on the ship intensified. Energy flowed downward toward the planet, connecting with the same points Daniel had identified. Only one of those points erupted. A surge of energy burst from deep beneath the ground. Daniel stepped closer to the screen, heart pounding. "That is not us," he said. "And it is not them either." Something else was waking up. If you are enjoying this story and want more intense and cinematic sci-fi stories like this, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss what happens next. Because at that moment, Daniel realized the most terrifying truth. The ship did not come to attack. It came because something far worse was already here. The world did not sleep that night. Every screen, every broadcast, every signal carried the same message. Something was happening beneath the surface of the Earth, and no one understood it. Daniel remained in the command center, eyes locked on the shifting data. The energy spikes were no longer isolated. They were spreading, growing stronger, linking together like a living system awakening after a long silence. "Show me all active zones," he said. The display changed instantly. Dozens of points glowed across the planet. Some pulsed slowly, others violently, as if something beneath them was struggling to break free. "They are increasing," an analyst reported. "Not randomly," Daniel replied. "They are following a pattern." He traced the projection with his finger, connecting the points in his mind. "It is a network," he continued. Something buried deep and connected. At that moment, a new alert echoed through the room. "We have visual confirmation." The main screen shifted to a live feed from one of the active zones. The ground was unstable, cracking and rising as if it were breathing. Dust and debris filled the air. Then the earth split open. A massive structure emerged. It was not a creature, not a machine, but something in between. Its surface moved like liquid metal, constantly reshaping itself, reflecting no light yet somehow glowing from within. Daniel felt a chill run through him. "That has been under us all this time." The room fell silent as more feeds came in. Other zones were reacting the same way. More structures were rising, each one different yet connected. "They are everywhere," someone whispered. Above them, the ship responded. The glowing structures on its surface intensified. Beams of controlled energy shot down toward the emerging forms. Wherever the light touched, the structures slowed, their movement suppressed as if being forced back into the ground. "It is holding them back," Daniel said. But even as he spoke, one of the analysts shook her head. "Not completely." Another feed appeared. One of the structures resisted the energy. It rose higher, larger, more defined. The ground around it warped, bending reality itself. Daniel stepped closer. "Why is that one different?" Before anyone could answer, the presence returned, stronger than before. "You are witnessing the breach." Closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the sensation. What are those things, he thought? The answer came instantly. Prisoners. His breath caught. And the ship. Wardens. The realization hit him hard. The Earth was not just a planet. It was a containment system. Suddenly, the resistant structure released a pulse of energy. The feed distorted, then cut to static. Every system in the command center flickered. "It is breaking through," someone shouted. Daniel opened his eyes, heart racing. "Then we need to help them," he said. The presence responded again, colder this time. "You cannot stop them with force." Daniel clenched his jaw. "Then tell us how." There was a pause longer than before. Then came the answer. "You must reach the core." The entire room froze. Core of what an officer asked. Daniel stared at the map, at the center point where all energy lines converged. "The core of the planet," he said quietly. "If you are hooked and want to see how humanity faces something older than the planet itself, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because the final chapter is where everything changes forever." And deep beneath their feet, something ancient turned its attention upward. It had finally been noticed. The journey to the core began before dawn. The team moved in silence through reinforced underground passages, deeper than any civilian had ever gone. The air grew heavier, the temperature rising with every step. Strange vibrations echoed through the tunnels, as if the planet itself was breathing. Daniel led the group. "Stay close," he said. No one spoke. The weight of what awaited them was enough. As they descended further, the walls began to change. Metal gave way to something organic, something that pulsed faintly with light. The deeper they went, the more the environment seemed alive. "We are getting close," an engineer whispered. Then the lights flickered. The ground trembled. Above them, the ship shifted slightly in orbit. Its energy intensified, as if responding to something below. They reached a massive chamber. At its center was the core. It was not fire. It was not molten rock. It was a vast sphere of energy suspended in perfect balance. Streams of light moved across its surface, connecting to every part of the planet. And within that light were shapes. Daniel stepped forward slowly. "This is it," he said. The presence returned one final time. "You have reached the heart." Daniel looked around. "What is it really?" he asked. The answer came with clarity. "A seal." The core pulsed. Before Daniel could respond, the ground shook violently. The energy around the chamber destabilized. One of the structures was breaking through. On the surface, systems detected another massive surge. The resistance was failing. Daniel looked at the core. "If this fails, what happens?" Silence followed. Then the answer came. "They awaken." Daniel exhaled slowly. "Stop them here." He stepped closer to the core, placing his hand on the light. The energy surged through him instantly. It was overwhelming, like standing inside a star. His mind opened. He saw it all. The ancient beings sealed beneath the earth. The war that nearly destroyed them. The creation of the ship as a guardian. And humanity, living unknowingly above it all. This was never meant to be discovered. The core responded to his presence. He was connecting to it. Outside, the ship released a powerful beam, stabilizing the situation. But it was weakening. Daniel understood. The ship could not do this alone. He closed his eyes. "Then let me help," he said. He focused everything into the connection. His thoughts, his fear, his will. The energy responded, spreading outward through the core, reinforcing the seal. The chamber shook violently. For a moment, everything seemed to collapse. Then slowly, the energy stabilized. The surge stopped. Above, the structures began to retreat. The threat was not gone, but it was contained once more. Daniel fell to his knees, exhausted. "Did we win?" someone asked. The voice returned one last time. "Not victory. A pause followed. But survival? Daniel looked up toward the surface. The ship remained in orbit, still watching, still protecting. If you enjoyed this story and want more powerful and cinematic sci-fi narratives like this, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss what comes next. Because the truth is simple. The war is not over. It has only been delayed.